It finally happened. Finally pushed and hit veteran. After all my struggles and trying out Pokemon teams that should have never been conceived of, here I am in my final pushes to getting veteran. So this is a terrible lead for this team. I was talking about this in my last video, Crocolar, that's what it's called. This Pokemon can be extremely problematic for my team. Any fire type Pokemon, honestly, can be pretty bad for this team. And of course, insult to injury, they're getting a crunch debuff here as well. That was so brutal. I was like, what? And the fact that they stayed in was kind of interesting to me. They bring in their Mantine now. I'm going to bring in Sandshrew in hopes to get rid of the debuff from the defense. And also not a bad matchup for the Sandshrew. Also, the lag in this game has been brutal. Holy smokes, it's been so bad recently. The worst I've seen it in a long time. Anyways, no one respects Sandshrew, so I'm going for the Blizzard and completely remove our friend there. I have 1 HP in a dream here. I'm able to connect that Night Slash. I'm so thankful. And now it's a matter of what do they have in the back? I don't know. So I'm just going to take a crunch because I really don't know if I need a shield or not. And the last thing this person has is a Serperior. So what do you know? I had a terrible lead. It doesn't matter when you have a great back line. Am I right? Anyways, Toxapex has been crazy. But crazy good in this format. Alright, so in this next battle, my opponent is leading Shadow Dragonair, which is not a great lead for me. So I'm going to insta-swap to Sandshrew, and they do bring in Greedent. So here I'm like, well, this isn't great. I'm just going to see what moveset they're running. They are running Trollblaze, so if it's Trollblaze Body Slam, it's actually not too shabby for me. I'm going to go for Blizzard. My opponent does not respect the Sandshrew whatsoever. So this is going to be quite a game-changing moment. I actually didn't even need the shield vet. I thought maybe preserving a little bit of health could be good for the Dragonair matchup. So yeah, I committed 1 shield, in comes Dragonair. I'm going to throw the Night Slash. They decided to just take it to the face, which I thought was quite okay. I'm going to let it go through, and they remove my little Sandshrew. So I bring in Toxapex, and they end up having Victory Bell here in the back. And it does look like it's Razor Leaf still. So this is pretty much just going to be a GG at this point. I was going to wait for them to throw a move. And I think I just end up shielding anyways, thinking if they throw a Leaf Blade, it's better I shield. And I'm going to connect. I'm going to throw the Brine. I think they just let it go. Yeah, it's pretty much just game at this point. I can just bring in Serperior, and Serperior is going to be able to just tank the moves and also do enough damage with Power Whip. I mean, excuse me, Vine Whip, what am I saying? So GG's. Next battle. In the mirror match. So, definitely, mine has 4 HP, so there is a chance I could win CMPs here. It looks like I am winning CMP, and I don't know. Whenever you're winning CMP, it's better not to switch out. I think I make a misplay here and I switch out. I should have just stayed in and contested for the lead, because that way, either more than likely they would have just let the Serperior go, and then I could have brought in Toxapex in on Poliwrath here. So that's the one thing. That was the first time I was in a mirror running this team, and yeah, I should have just played it out the entire time. Like I should have just got to the point where maybe they wanted to try to catch my air release on a Pokemon in their backline instead, and then I'd have switch as well. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And they do have Carbink in the back, which, you know, could have been good for us if we were to play this slightly different. But yeah, this is pretty much going to be a GG if I'm not mistaken, because there's not much I can really do here. I'm pretty sure I can't take down the yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't take this down, because I'm gonna have to commit a shield against the Carbink, and then Poliwrath can just go for a Scald upon coming back into the battle. Oh, no, excuse me. They had the what am I saying? They had Serperior with a Frenzy Plant still loaded from the very start. So yeah, that was a rough battle. GG's. Another mirror, and I'm gonna try to adjust how I deal with this. This is the reason why people think there's like algorithms sometimes. Sometimes you just face like a very similar team back to back, and it's like that you haven't seen it at all. And you're like, what? But yeah, so I'm gonna stay in here because it looks like my Serperior is winning CMP, which I can only assume is due to the fact that I have a higher attack product. And yeah, I guess I decided to switch again here. Why? Okay, it looked like I was trying to switch, but then I decided after taking it, I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna stay in. And that is the better call also, because they do let it go. And in comes Shadow for Alligator. I'm gonna bring in Toxapex to kind of wall any moves if they want to throw any. They do end up throwing the Hydro, and we can take that relatively nice. So I'm just gonna take both of these moves to the face and hope that their backline does not appreciate Sandshrew. They do have Carbink as well in the back line, and this will work out a little bit better than the previous match because I do have my Sandshrew working for me. And the thing is, Night Slash isn't going to do a lot of damage, but we could probably bait and force a shield. They're not going to just not shield this, right? So that is the case, and now I'm just going to go straight Blizzard after getting that first shield, because sometimes the mind games work, and that is exactly what happens. And from here, I can just let the Rock Slide take out Sandshrew, and it's a matter of just farming down at this point. Fortunately, we just barely are able to farm down the Feraligatr before we can get to 2 Hydro Cannons. So yeah, very fortunate there. In comes Carbink, finish up the battle. Bam. But yeah, honestly, I was kind of shocked how well this team was working for me, because I've been struggling to climb for a while. And this actually, I don't know. I haven't played today yet. Maybe I'll drop below 2500 today. Maybe that's today's goal. But yeah, I was actually kind of shocked that this team is the one that got me to veteran, because I was just kind of messing around. I was trying to make an anti-Carbink team, but Sandshrew is very spicy. But it kind of was just wrecking havoc whenever I was using it. I was like kind of shocked. This person had to quit the battle. I'm fairly confident they quit because it has all the telltale signs of someone disconnected from the battle. So, I mean, I'm okay with this. I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, this is the final battle of this set. So this should be a 4-1 set. It's just a matter of getting through all this like lag. And you know, I know it seems weird that I'm like staying in here trying to beat the Quagsire. Part of my brain was thinking this guy is faking. He's waiting for me to switch out into Serperior, so he'll just switch into his fire type and completely wreck me from there. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, for some reason, it just felt like if I switched out there, I was gonna get punished. So I didn't want to like risk it. I know it's kind of paranoid, right? That's what this game does to you. But yeah, as you can see, it kind of makes sense. They really couldn't deal with Serperior with their backline being Swampert. So yeah, that should be a 4-1 set if I'm not mistaken, which brought me right underneath veteran. I was like, oh, and I got a shiny. I was like, no way. I was like, that's crazy. What is this game? This game loves me. So next battle, I get a Shadow Magnezone lead, and then part of me was thinking, is this potentially the Tropius and Wigglytuff team? And they throw Wild Charge, take it to the face. They take the Frenzy, and it just hurts so much. Like, holy smokes. They bring in Mantine, and instead of just insta-swapping, I decided to just throw a Frenzy first, and then switch into Sandshrew. This is actually not too bad. They took the move to the face, which makes it a little bit easier for me to just spam Night Slashes now. Little old Sandshrew just doing work. It's amazing. So yeah, I'm going to commit the 1 shield, prevent that water pulse damage, and then from here, just a farm down, have a little bit of energy to throw, and yeah, pretty much they're running another water flyer in the back. They switch in Magnezone, the catch move, which is pretty nice for them. But I honestly didn't really mind having Toxapex as my backline. So I'm just going to switch directly in the Toxapex, and essentially this Pelipper has to throw 2 Hurricanes. I guess I should have shielded the first one, assuming they were just going to throw Hurricane, but I didn't, and it doesn't particularly matter. I mean, they didn't shield, which is fine as well. Here, though, I do make the call, the shield. They do just throw Weather Ball, which is a smart decision. Imagine if they threw Weather Ball first, though, and I shielded that or something, you know. I mean, granted, right now it's working out in their favor. I mean, they connected the Hurricane, Weather Ball, blah, blah, blah. They throw in another Weather Ball, but it's not enough to take out Toxapex, and I can just bring in Serperior for the Vine Whip farm down. I get a Shadow for Alligator lead in this next battle, which is amazing for me. And instead of just insta-switching out, I decided I'm going to throw some Aerial Aces here into Ferrothorn, because I can do some significant chip damage before I bring in my Sandshrew. And Sandshrew honestly isn't a bad switch in here. Honestly could have been good to just insta-swap as well. You could even play mind games by building up to a Blizzard and then baiting. But now it's kind of like, you know, I really don't even need to do that, do I? I mean, the thing is, this Ferrothorn is not going to shield. After getting that shield, they're not going to shield. But the way I was looking at this was, if I do throw Blizzard and they shield, that will be bad. But if I throw double Night Slash, it's pretty much the same as connecting a Blizzard here. And I do get the attack boost, which was kind of nice. Because this Night Slash now is going to be a little more threatening into the Feraligatr, and it does force them. It doesn't force them. I guess they decided they didn't want to take that much damage. I'm going to safe swap into Toxapex just to kind of disrupt what's going on here with the timer and maybe force out Feraligatr to align it with Serperior later. They do reveal that they have a Gligar here, so this is actually looking pretty good for me because I preserved my Sandshrew. That's one of the main things. Being able to preserve Sandshrew with that little bit of health is so significant. But as you can see, it didn't actually even matter because pretty much they just sacrifice Gligar. Now at this point, I have enough energy generated on Serperior already that I don't necessarily need to worry about doing a sack swap, but I do have my Sandshrew just in case I was a little bit behind on energy. And now I can just kind of throw double Aerial Ace, and then Vine Whip should be able to just finish up the battle here. GG. Hit that like button if you're enjoying this video. It does help my content out a lot here on the platform. Alright, so I've been seeing a lot of steelix also, which is just amazing for me. They're typically running Breaking Swipe, Psychic Fang, so I don't really need to shield anything. I mean, even if they're running Earthquake, I wouldn't shield that. So what I do is I'm going to throw a move, take the first Psychic Fang, I bring in Sandshrew, and they end up bringing in Cresselia, which is not good for them because this is just a win for Sandshrew. I don't need to shield whatsoever, and I can just pretty much punish this Cresselia for coming in. Yeah, so I don't know if they were, like, it's hard for me to know, like, if that was an intentional switch or if that was an accident on their end. I can't remember what their backline was at the moment. For some reason, I feel like it's a grass type. It might be a grass type Pokemon. Maybe that's why they didn't bring in their... Maybe that's why they brought in Cresselia there. But yeah, this is looking so good. I mean, Sandshrew, as you can see, is doing work in the Remix Cup. Like, holy smokes. And I can just take these Psychic Fangs to the face too, which is crazy. Oh, they have Pidgeot. That's right. So yeah, Pidgeot, don't need to worry about at all, really. Yeah, that makes sense why they did things the way they did. So here is kind of interesting because it's like, I don't even really need to shield. They're not going to throw Brave Bird when there's a 2-shield scenario going on. This is the thing about something like Pidgeot that makes it a little difficult to use is if you really want to catch me off guard, you're going to throw Brave Bird. But if you throw Brave Bird, then you're just going to die to my fast attacks at this point. So yeah, that puts this person in a very odd position where I really don't have to shield anything. I mean, I do commit a shield. I felt like, why not, you know, might as well. But they end up switching in their Steelix to take the move, which is a good call. But now I can kind of just, see, same situation. If they throw Brave Bird here, they're just going to lose to my Sandshrew's farm down. But if they don't, then I win. So yeah, it kind of, they were going to lose pretty much either way in that battle, so GG's to them. Another Steelix lead, I've been seeing a lot of these, and pretty great for me. So they switch in Victory Bell to catch a move, which is really smart. But I also have Sandshrew. So I bring in Sandshrew and I just go for the straight farm down. And this is looking extremely good because whatever they have in the back, if they can't deal with Sandshrew, I have all this energy. No one respects Blizzard, and I'm going straight for that Blizzard. And dang, like I just completely destroyed through this guy's team. Like he just did not really respect what I was doing here at all. And I can take the Psychic Fang. I don't even need the shield. I'm just like, there's really no point to shield. And they end up having the Shadow Ninetales in the back, and it's just like, I have Toxapex. Good game. So GG's there. And in the next battle, I have a Shadow Sableye lead, and they bring in Steelix. A lot of Steelixes as I was pushing towards Veteran. So this is great for me. I want to make sure I do as much damage to Steelix before I switch out. I want to take a move before I switch out. That way I can remove any debuffs. I honestly didn't even need to switch there because they didn't even get the attack drop. I could have potentially stayed in, but I thought, you know, it's probably better to preserve Serperior a little bit there, just in case. And Sandshrew can do the job, so bring in the Sandshrew. I'm going to go straight for the Blizzard because, like I said, no one respects Blizzard from this little creature, and it just completely removes it. In comes the Sableye, Shadow Sableye. I throw Night Slash. They will respect the Night Slash at least. And I do get attack boost, which is kind of crazy. And from there, I'm looking really good. I mean, I have 2 shields. I have some energy generated on Serperior ready to be locked and loaded. They don't switch out Sableye, so this Frenzy Plant should just remove Sableye from play. And they end up having Noctowl in the back, which is just amazing because I have 1 shield and Toxapex. And that should be just enough for me to go for a Sludge Wave and a Brine, and that should be game. It doesn't matter if I shield the first move, I can easily tank it. Then from there, it's just a matter of going for the farm down. But they just leave the match, makes sense. So GG's a 5-0. Wow, I feel like I haven't seen this in a while. But I got 5-0 that actually led me to finally achieving Veteran this season. So yeah, in my last video, I was saying I want to try to improve my gameplay a little bit. We'll see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning in today's video. The Sass Squad is getting stronger each and every day. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one. And if you want to check out more Go Battle League content from me, consider watching this video right here or this video right here.